And hello, it's Mike Lodge, the business advisor. I'm glad that you have joined me. This is Monday morning. I tell you, the weekend, doesn't it seem like the weekend is going by faster? Or is it just that I'm getting older and time goes by faster? Well, that's happening to me also. But the weekend just zoomed by. And I'm thinking, well, what did I do the weekend? Well, I tell you what I did. I worked. I worked on client stuff. And I didn't want to go out. It was chilly and it was cold and raining. And then on Sunday afternoon, it cleared up and became sunny. But it was just one of those kind of weekends where it was a working weekend for me because I need to get things done. One of the things that I think we need to talk about, a lot of us are not doing critical thinking when we're making decisions on what we're hearing. You know, we are going through an election time. And we get, well, let's just face it. Politics also drives a lot of emotions of anger. Let's get back at them. Let's do this. Let's do that. We've got to do this. We've got to close the border. We've got all of these subjects in this political year that drives us nutso because we want change, but we're not getting change out of Washington, D.C. So we get all of this nonsense that comes out of so many places in media that go against what we say or how we believe. And a lot of us are falling for it. And a good example is what's happening with the pro-Palestine demonstrations going on. Now, I can almost say with a certainty that these young kids have not thought critically. They have not sat down and said, okay, let's hear both sides. Let's see what's going on. And so you hear all of these remarks being said by these people, and then the worst part is that they're following people. They are not making independent decisions. They're going off with these tangents, repeating the same thing over and over again, and they don't know what they're supporting, but they feel like it's a good cause. But they didn't sit back and critically think, by me being on campus, by me writing on the walls swastikas, and by me putting garbage all over my campus, how much does that affect the Palestinian people? How much does that help the Palestinian people? Now, me on the other side, I'm sitting here because I know the history. I've lived through a lot of it. I still remember seeing Arafat and the Prime Minister of Israel sitting down and signing a peace accord. I still remember when Hamas came in and just literally destroyed a nation. So I've seen that because I've lived through it. But these individuals haven't seen very much in life. A lot of them haven't even seen the 9/11 buildings fall and tumble down in New York City. But yet they're out there and they're protesting and they're making demands and they're doing all this other stuff that really doesn't help the small nation of Palestine. Now, they wanted to do something because they know that these people are hungry. They know that these people need clothing. They know that their lives have been disrupted. They could have done various amount of drives that would have raised money to feed the children or raised money to put clothes on their backs or places to sleep. They could have done that, but they didn't. They didn't do that at all. Instead, what they decided to do, They decided, well, I'm not going to think about this at all. I'm just going to go with the crowd, and I'm just going to do my thing. And then when you ask them, what are you here for? They could not answer, and they still can't answer to this day. When they took the American flag down and raised the Palestinian flag in its place, did they do any thinking of, is that going to help my cause, or is it going to hinder my cause? Well, what happened is it really hurt their cause, because now they've become anti-American. And Americans sitting back saying, no, not on my watch, you're not going to do that. Not going to do it. And so the whole purpose of them demonstrating became moot, because now they become anti-Israel, anti-American, and they begin to attack America. Why? Because they were following. There was these gangsters that came in the same suits and the same masks of Antifa. But yet still people did not think critically. Critically thinking has to be done in every step of our life. What are we hearing? What is our own look into what's going on or what has happened in the past? No, they just follow. America doesn't need followers. America needs independent thinking individuals who are going to do something better with their lives, but also better for other people. It's that fact that if we are not thinking about other people, we have a problem. So they had opportunities to do something great for another country, but instead of doing critical thinking, they decided to become a mob. And mobs turn people off very quickly. We've seen it happen in the past. And it's happening right now. Where Americans have said, okay, enough of this nonsense. Clear them out. Once they become anti-American, it's time to shut them down. Yeah, they can still have their freedom of speech. They can still speak out if they want to. They can even do clothing drives and food drives and whatever else it takes for the Palestinian people. That's fine. But once they become active, and once they become antagonistic, and once they become these mean people, the message that they originally had is gone. It's dead. Hasta la vista, baby. So even in our daily lives, you and I, we have to practice critical thinking also. When we hear something on the news, look into it. If it's something that you don't quite believe, look into it. Get your own statistics. Look at your own data that's out there abundantly. One of the things that I did on critical thinking is, on all of these numbers that come out of Washington, D.C., you really have to take a very close look at them to see how they're being reported, because some of them don't mean crap. But it's a good political statement only. But it means nothing, because the data is wrong. The data going in and the data coming out is all wrong. What they're looking at and data isn't what they should be looking at. Or they're not putting enough data into it that's available to them, but they don't want to talk about that because that's a negative number. So I learned very quickly that when we are dealing with politics and we're dealing with world issues, we have to be very critical in what we're thinking and how we are looking at things, because it could be easy to be misled. And that is what has happened on our college campuses, is they do not know how to critically think, because they've had teachers pounding them with all of this nonsense, with all of this propaganda for years and years, from grade school all the way up until the university days. No one has taught them how to think for themselves. Critical thinking is very vital for our lives and to make good decisions with our lives and the information that is being presented to us. It's amazing, isn't it? So I encourage every single one of you, do some critical thinking. Apply it to your lives every single day. When you're in business, when you're in church, when you're in the schools that your children are attending, or if you are going to school, critically think about what your teachers are telling you. Because a lot of it is bullshit. I hate to say that word, but it's BS. So we have to begin to think for ourselves. We have to begin to ask the questions. And once you feel comfortable with what you see happening or what's going on, then you can speak up and say something. But until you've done that critical thinking, you know nothing. You're just a follower. You're just sheep. And there's no one leading you that should be. Listen, this is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor. Everybody go out and have a great day, a great week. Let's do some critical thinking and make some good decisions. Talk with you soon. Bye-bye.